today we will be doing chapter 1 of political science, the Indian Constitution. Students, have you ever played the game of football? Can you imagine playing that game without rules? So, if there are no rules in a game of football, then people will be touching the ball with their hands also, and they can cheat in the game also, and you will not enjoy the game also if there are no rules. There might be a possibility that there are conflicts and arguments and disagreements among the players. So you understand that it is very necessary to have a set of rules in order to avoid any kinds of conflicts and disagreements. Similarly, in the school, you have a set schedule, and if children do not follow that, for example, I will give you the day of one working day of your school, starting from 8 o'clock in the morning. The whole day till 1:30 is periodized into different parts, and each teacher or each subject has a specific time allotted to it, and the break also has a specific time allotted to it. Another specific period for games is there, for library is there. Now imagine if there will be no timings and no rules for school, then what will happen? It will be a complete total chaos. Children will come at 8 o'clock, some will come at 9 o'clock, some will come late at 10 o'clock, so nothing can be systematic and things will not work out. To maintain peace and harmony in a society also, we must have a set of rules. To ensure that there are no conflicts among the people, we must have a set of rules that should be followed by all the people living in a society together. They should be followed alike by all. They should be same for all. Many countries have a set of rules in the form of a written set of rules in the form of a constitution. So the constitution, we can say, is a set of rules to govern a country better. As we are living in a democratic nation and there is a variety of people that are living together, so it's very necessary to have a set of rules so as to maintain peace and harmony, promote equality and justice among the people. It is necessary to have a set of rules, and that we have in the form of a constitution. Now, many democratic countries in the world have a set of rules in the form of a constitution, but it is not necessary that every democratic country has a constitution. There are certain non-democratic countries also in the world that have a constitution. So we see that it is not necessary that all countries that have a constitution are democratic. But most democratic countries are likely to have a constitution. Now let us understand, why do we need a constitution? Why there is a requirement of the constitution in any country, and especially in a country like ours, which is very, very diverse, and a variety of faiths, people of different communities are living in India. So let's see why we need the constitution. So there are several purposes that a constitution serves. First, it lays out certain ideals that form the basis for the governance of a country. To understand this better, we need to consider that in our country there are many communities, people practicing different faiths, they are living together, and it is not necessary that everybody agrees on all points. So when we mention certain ideals, we mean that those ideals or those points on which all the people have agreed and they have come to a consensus, they have all agreed upon it, and that is based on the aspiration of the people that they have for their country, how they want to see the future of their country. So those ideals, they lay down the aspirations of the people. They not only tell us the nature of the government, that what it will be, but what ideals will be included. For example, there are ideals of equality, there is secularism, there is justice which is going to be promoted, so freedom that is going to be given to all the people equally. So these are the basic main fundamental ideals that are laid down by the Constitution. If we try and understand through an example, let's take the recent most example of the country of Nepal, which was recently a monarchy where the king ruled the country. But people were unhappy because they were not getting equal rights, they were not treated equally. The people who supported the king, they were treated in a different manner, and the people who did not want a king, a monarchy, they wanted to change the system of the government, they were discriminated. And so they all raised their voice against their government and they demanded a change. And continuously they struggled for a few decades, and finally in 2006 the monarchy rule in Nepal came to an end and Nepal became a free country. Now that the country was free, they had to lay down certain set of rules that will be followed, and they have to set down a few, they have to decide upon few ideas that they want as a basis of their constitution, so that there is peace and harmony in the country. So with a common agreement of all the people, they had to decide the set of rules for their country. The second purpose that a constitution serves is that it defines the nature of the political system of a country. It defines whether the country is a democratic country or not. If it is a democratic country, then it also further defines if it is a parliamentary form of government or a presidential form of government. For example, in Nepal, they had a monarchy, and when they switched from a monarchy to a free country, when they became independent, they decided upon the nature of the political system as a democratic system. They decided that they will have a democracy. The constitution not only defines the nature of the political system, but also limits the power of the people who are a part of the political system. Now, why do you think there is requirement for limiting the power of the people in the political system? Because it is likely, because these people are elected by the people of the country, by the citizens of the country, and they are, it is likely that once they come into power, they start misusing their powers. There is a chance that they start misusing their powers. To avoid that, to safeguard from that misuse of power, the constitution limits the powers of those people who become part of the political system. The constitution not only limits the powers of the political leaders, but also gives certain equal rights, fundamental rights to the citizens of the country, so that they should not face any kind of discrimination on any basis, like on the basis discrimination on the basis of religion, caste, gender, or on the basis of minority. People are often discriminated on the basis of their number, that if they are less in number or if they are in minority, they are discriminated often by the people who are more in number. That means the people who are in majority. So there are two kinds of discriminations that are possible on the basis of minority. First is, say for example, religion A discriminates with the people of religion B. So this is called inter-community discrimination. When people of one religion are discriminating with the people of another religion, this kind of discrimination is called inter-community discrimination. But in case people of one religion are discriminating with the people of their own religion, this kind of discrimination is called intra-community discrimination. So, to avoid intra-community discrimination or inter-community discrimination, or for that matter any kind of discrimination on the basis of religion, caste, gender, or any other basis, region, language, culture. No kind of discrimination on the basis of wealth, education. No kind of discrimination should be there. That is why the Constitution gives certain equal rights to all its citizens. The third purpose that the Constitution serves is that it saves us from ourselves. Now, doesn't that sound very strange? Save us from ourselves? How can that be possible? See students, we also at times make decisions which are not good for ourselves. For example, tomorrow you have an exam, and today, tonight you have your favorite television show that will be aired on television. So, and now it is up to you to decide whether you will watch the television program or whether you will prepare for your exam. So, here you have to take decision for yourself. Now, it is likely that you can take a decision which is not good for you. It is likely that you can decide that I should watch TV and not study. So, in this way, it is not a good decision for you, and you will harm yourself, or you will be at a loss by this decision. So, in order to watch your favorite television program, can you ask your teacher to postpone the exam and take it at a later date? No, because that is not possible. According to your wishes, you cannot change the rules and you cannot change the schedule. Similarly, in a constitution also there are certain rules which cannot be changed, and they are the basic rules that cannot be changed. Our constitution does have some flexibility and we can amend the laws, but there is some rigidity also. You cannot change the form of government if you want to. Say one fine day I say that no, I don't prefer a democracy, I want a dictatorship. Well, I cannot do that because the constitution does not allow me to make such changes.